Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams with the Midday News. The headlines. Swearing-in ceremony underway for Bhupendra Patel as Chief Minister of Gujarat for second consecutive term. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other leaders attending the function. Government tells Lok Sabha there is no proposal under consideration to revive old pension scheme. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asserts that Indian rupee has been strong against every other currency. UAE successfully launches first ever Arab-built lunar spacecraft. FIFA initiates disciplinary case against Argentinian players and staff for their action during quarterfinal match against the Netherlands. And in women's cricket, India defeat Australia in second T20 International in Super Over to level series 1-1. In Gujarat, BJP leader Bhupendra Patel is taking oath as the Chief Minister for the second consecutive term. Mr. Patel is being administered oath as the 18th Chief Minister of the state by Governor Acharya Devvrat. The swearing-in ceremony is taking place in Gandhinagar in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and a host of dignitaries from across the country. The new Council of Ministers will also be sworn in at the function. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today asserted that the Indian rupee has been strong against every other currency. She said the Reserve Bank has used foreign exchange reserves to intervene in the market to make sure that the dollar-rupee fluctuation does not affect the economy. The minister said this while replying to supplementaries during the question hour in the Lok Sabha. She said the data shows that FDI flow in the country is the highest among the emerging economies of the world. The government today clarified that there is no plan to remove the image of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, from Indian currency notes. Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary stated this in a written reply in the Lok Sabha. He said several requests have been received for inclusion of images of freedom fighters, eminent personalities, gods and goddesses on Indian banknotes. He, however, said RBI has already clarified that there is no proposal for changes to the existing currency and banknotes. Around 2,000 vacancies of professors, associate professors and assistant professors in central universities and central higher education institutions have been filled last year. This was informed by Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan while replying to supplementaries in the Lok Sabha during question hour today. He said around 30% of such posts are vacant in these central universities and institutions and steps are being taken for recruitment. In another question on Aligarh Muslim University's centre in Kishanganj, Bihar, the minister said only half-hearted steps were taken during the previous government in 2010 in this regard. The government today described as completely erroneous the claim that 3,000 political persons have been raided by the Enforcement Directorate in the last 8 years. During the 0 hour in the Rajya Sabha, Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh raised the issue, alleging that central agencies are targeting only opposition leaders, while ED's conviction rate in the last years is just 0.5%. We now take you live to the Gujarat CM Bhupendra Patel's swearing-in ceremony.
संविधान प्रत्यय कायदाથી સ્થાપિત ભારતના સંવિધાન પ્રત્યે હું સાચી શ્રદ્ધા અને નિષ્ઠા ધરાવીશ. સાચી શ્રદ્ધા અને નિષ્ઠા ધરાવીશ. હું ભારતના સાર્વભૌમત્વનું અને અખંડતાનું સમર્થન કરીશ. અને હું ગુજરાત રાજ્યના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકેના મારા કર્તવ્યો શ્રદ્ધાપૂર્વક અને અંતઃકરણપૂર્વક બજાવીશ. અને ભય કે પક્ષપાત રાગ કે દ્વેષ વિના તમામ લોકો સાથે સંવિધાન અને કાયદા અનુસાર ન્યાયપૂર્વક વર્તીશ. હું
ભૂપેન્દ્ર રજનીકાંત પટેલ
ઈશ્વરના નામે સોગંદ લઉં છું કે
ઈશ્વરના નામે સોગંદ લઉં છું કે
હું ગુજરાત રાજ્યના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકે
ગુજરાત રાજ્યના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકે
જે કોઈ બાબત મારી વિચારણા માટે લાવવામાં આવશે અથવા મારા જાણવામાં આવશે તેની જાણ એવા મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકેના મારા કર્તવ્યોના યોગ્ય પાલન માટે આવશ્યક હોય તે સિવાય प्रत्यक्ष के परोक्ष रीते कोई पण व्यक्ति अथवा व्यक्तियों ने करीश नहीं।
The government today said over 10 crore 68 lakh families have been provided with tap water connections in the country. While replying to a supplementary in the Rajya Sabha today, Minister of State for Jal Shakti Prahlad Singh Patel said there were 3 crore 23 lakh tap water connections at the start of the Jal Jeevan mission on the 15th of August 2019. He said the results of the scheme are visible now and the coverage percentage of tap water connection has increased from 16.72% to 55.24% in the last 3 years. The government today said 72 posts of chairman cum managing directors and whole-time directors of central public sector enterprises are vacant. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Minister of State for Finance Dr. Bhagwat Kishan Rao Karad said the process of selection of candidates for the posts is underway through Public Enterprises Selection Board, Search cum Selection Committee and Civil Services Board. He said the appointment of the candidates recommended by these boards is made to concerned departments with the approval of the competent authority. Meanwhile, the centre today said 6,180 teaching posts are lying vacant as on the 1st of this month in 45 central universities of the country. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Education Minister Narendra Modi said out of 18,956 sanctioned teaching posts in these universities in regular mode, 12,776 posts are filled up. The central government today clarified that there is no proposal under consideration for restoration of the old pension scheme for their employees. This was stated by Minister of State for Finance Dr. Bhagwat Karad in a written reply in the Lok Sabha. He said the governments of Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand have decided to restore the old pension scheme for their employees. He added that these states have sent proposals to the Centre and Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority to return the accumulated corpus of subscribers under the National Pension System to them. The Bombay High Court today granted bail to former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in a case under the Prevention of Corruption Act. Justice M.S. Karnig pronounced the order today after hearing marathon arguments last week. Deshmukh was arrested on the 2nd of November last year by the ED following over 12 hours of interrogation and subsequently arrested in the present case by the CBI. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has encouraged citizens to visit PM Sangrahalaya in New Delhi in response to a message by Tourism, Culture and Development Minister G. Kishan Reddy. The Prime Minister said light and sound show at the PM Sangrahalaya will enhance the visiting experience. Earlier, Mr. Reddy in a message informed that Sangrahalaya has added the light and sound show to its complex depicting 75 years journey of India's space program. The first direct flight services between Jaffna and Chennai resumed today. Airport officials in Chennai said the flight services will be operated for 4 days a week. Alliance Air will operate the flights on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 1:15 p.m. The move is expected to help the tourism sector of the neighbouring island nation. The flight services have resumed after a gap of 3 years. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket yesterday carried into space the first ever Arab-built lunar spacecraft. It was launched from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. The Rashid rover was built by Dubai's Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, MBRSC, in the United Arab Emirates. The mission is due to arrive on the moon around April 2023. According to MBRSC, the Rashid rover will provide novel and highly valued data, images and insights, as well as collect scientific data on matters relating to the origin of the solar system, our planet and life. In Peru, President Dina Boluarte gave in to protesters' demands for early elections. In a nationally televised address today, she said a proposal to move up elections will be sent to the Congress. Ms. Boluarte's decision came after thousands of demonstrators took to the streets around Peru for another day yesterday to demand that she resign and schedule elections to replace her and the Congress. According to official reports, the protests turned deadly, with at least 2 reported deaths in a remote community in the Andes. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar today congratulated Rajya Sabha member P.T. Usha for becoming the first woman president of Indian Olympic Association. When the House met this morning, Mr. Dhankar said P.T. Usha is a household name in the country and an Olympian of international repute. He said an Arjuna and Padma Shri awardee, P.T. Usha, is currently promoting sports and sports education, terming her contribution in the sports field as motivating. He said P.T. Usha contributes to sustenance of a sports-friendly ecosystem in the country. FIFA has initiated a disciplinary case against Argentina for its players' actions during a contentious World Cup quarterfinal match against the Netherlands. The soccer governing body cited order and security at matches in its disciplinary code for charging the Argentina Soccer Federation. Lionel Messi was among a World Cup record of 17 players or coaching staff members who were shown yellow cards during or after the game. Argentina head coach Scaloni was shown a yellow card too. Argentina substitutes and coaches encroached on the field as the game turned confrontational in the late stages as the Netherlands scored 2 late goals to force extra time. There were more heated exchanges on the field after Argentina won the penalty shootout following the 2-2 draw. FIFA has, however, not given any timeline for verdicts, which have typically not been published before a team's next game at this World Cup. Argentina faces Croatia in the semi-finals on the 14th of December. In women's cricket, India defeated Australia in the Super Over by 4 runs in a nail-biting encounter at the Dr. D.Y. Patel Sports Academy in Mumbai last evening. A match that ebbed and flowed saw a dramatic finish with the women in blue edging the Aussies in the second T20 International to level the 5-match series 1-1. India scored 20 runs in the Super Over while the Australian batters could only manage 16 runs. Pacer Renuka Singh held her nerve to defend 20 runs, ensuring India clinched the match. The third T20 International of the 5-match series will be played on Wednesday, the 14th of December 2022 at Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai at 7 p.m. Indian time. Hindi film Aina, directed and produced by Siddhant Serene, is being showcased at the 20th edition of Kathmandu International Mountain Film Festival being organized in Kathmandu from the 8th to the 12th of December 2022. The film shows how a momentary act of revenge forever transforms the lives of 2 young Indian women, weaving a story around acid attack survivors. In our bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak at 9:30 tonight, we will bring you a live discussion on role of Ayurveda in health and wellness with the experts Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha, Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, and Dr. Tanuja Nesri, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on role of Ayurveda in health and wellness, Ayurvedic treatments and home remedies, and government policies and initiatives for development of Ayurveda. Listeners can ask questions on telephone number 011-2371-7106 and 011-2331-4444. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News, alerts by hashtag AskAIR. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Bhupendra Patel takes oath as Chief Minister of Gujarat for second consecutive term in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other leaders. Government tells Lok Sabha there is no proposal under consideration to revive old pension scheme. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asserts that Indian rupee has been strong against every other currency. UAE successfully launches first ever Arab-built lunar spacecraft. FIFA initiates disciplinary case against Argentinian players and staff for their action during quarterfinal match against the Netherlands. And with that, we end the midday news.